All right.
All right. Guys, we're ready. Back to Horror and Heels. I'm Elicia.
I'm Jen.
I'm overwhelmed by the amount of snow that hit the East Coast today, and I don't know what I find overwhelming about it because I have a wonderful husband who doesn't make me remove an inch of it from our property, so I don't know what I'm overwhelmed about, but I'm overwhelmed.
Just knowing it's out there, just having it.
We're up to like 8 inches.
Usually like a good 8 inches.
Well, most men are like a snowstorm. You never know when it's coming, how long it's going to last, or how many inches you're going to get. So, but now I can hear it's like a horrible, slushy, icy mess. And so Ed was like, I want to get all the like snow, because it was kind of like light and fluffy earlier in the day. So he was like, I want to get it removed now before like the wet falls on him. Like, yep, that's a good call. So yeah, guys. So I watched The Shining during a global pandemic, where we're really not allowed to go anywhere anyway.
Yeah, that was interesting.
And during a snowstorm, because I make excellent decisions in life. Because for the record, didn't have to watch this movie today. Knew we'd been doing it. Knew we planned our weeks, months ago.
Yeah.
Could have done this at any time. Knew this ridiculous snowstorm was coming since Thursday. Like, I was aware. And just chose to watch it today because I make excellent decisions.
Hey, I like it. Gives you the atmosphere. I was not in the snow, but I was cold, and I was like, I had a hot coffee, and I was like, oh, this is nice.
What was today's temperature that Jen was cold at?
Oh, let's see. I don't even check the weather. It's either sunny or it's raining. That's what we get.
Just temperature?
Oh, it's 66 today. I don't know what it was on
66, guys. Yesterday here on Long Island, it was 16 degrees. Let me just repeat that for the people at home. We're working on a Fahrenheit system for our Canadian friends because apparently we are 51 we are listed number 51 in Canada. So thank you to all our Canadian fans.
Oh yeah, we got that email. That was really cool. Yay.
So for all you Canadians, I can't do the math, so we're on a Fahrenheit scale, and I'm sorry. But 16 degrees, that shouldn't be.
That's not even, I can't even, anything below 60s, like, no. That's the same thing. I can't even fathom.
Jen said 66 was cold. People, 66, 67 is what might keep my house at. If my house hits above 69, I'm walking around the whole house like a menopausal woman in a flash, just screaming at my husband about the heat.
Me and my mom do not agree on the temperature of the house. She's always like, it's so hot in here. I'm like, Mom, it is not hot. I'm always freezing.
Why I love using my Instapot or my crock pot as opposed to my oven, because it does not increase the heat in my home.
Oh yeah.
Like Thanksgiving last year, I was like opening window. I'm like, Ed, turn down the heat. He's like, sweetie, once again, the heat is set at 66.
One more time.
The house is reading 72. The heat won't come back on until the house reaches 65 or lower. It's not the heat. I'm like, open a window. And of course, like, we have people over, so I can't like just start. I mean, I did have like a t-shirt on, but I can't just start stripping off layers.
Walk around naked. People frown upon that.
Yeah. Especially since I don't have the right curtains for that. I'm getting different curtains. We had the curtain talk. I won't bore the group again. So this was Jen's first experience. Shining.
It's funny because I've never seen it, but I still like knew every reference. Like, you can reference it to me, and I still know what movie you're talking about.
Right. So. Well, it has been very prominently displayed in a lot of pop culture. So, I mean, I feel like it gets done a lot.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like Ready Player One.
Yeah.
I recognized it in that, and I was like, I've never even seen the movie, and I figured out what it was.
Like, obviously, if you're the type of person who watches top 10 lists and stuff, it hits a lot of those. I
mean, it's Stanley Kubrick and Stephen King, so it's...
Well, now you know that King hates this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure you know. I am one of those people who read the book first, and then I saw the movie, and I was like, what is happening? That's not in the book. What is happening? Wendy isn't that pathetic. Now, as an adult, I can appreciate them both separately.
Mm.
As a youngin', I couldn't. I know many people who still can't.
Yeah.
I find that most people who truly love Kubrick's version and vision never read the novel.
Mm.
I enjoy Kubrick's version and vision, but I understand entirely what Stephen King says. And actually, I had problems putting into how I felt about it in words. And then I was reading a lot of articles today, and somebody said, in the book, Jack Torrance is a man who goes crazy. In the movie, it seems like Jack Torrance is a man who was already there.
Yeah.
From the jump is just trying to hold on to his sanity. So it really doesn't show you how much power
the hotel has.
The Overlook has on people's psyche. And I do think that Kubrick tried a little bit, because Wendy does see the man and the bear, and we know that's not real. So we do see slight glimmers of that, but I feel like that comes too late. Whereas in the book, you really see that Jack is getting plagued by the hotel. And also, I read that because of technology differences, they changed. In the book, there is no maze. It is topiary animals, and the topiary animals actually move and do things throughout the movie, of the novel, that don't happen obviously in this novel, in this adaptation, because they couldn't do it.
Yeah. Which one do you think is scarier, the book or the movie?
The book definitely freaked me out. I believe Jack Nicholson brought it so well that the movie is scarier.
Okay, got it.
If he had not done such a stellar job with his performance, I mean, his facial expressions alone cannot be denied. They cannot be ignored. I even thought the young boy who played Danny
he was so good. I liked him.
Phenomenal.
I liked him a lot.
There are moments where you see him being so grown up and interacting with Tony. Now, poor Shelley Duvall, apparently Kubrick was not pleased with her at all on set. There's been some rumors that she was just not doing well. A lot of her scenes were actually cut or limited because he didn't like what she was giving him.
Wow. I
do not like her performance. I enjoy Rebecca De Mornay's performance in the miniseries remake with Steven Weber playing the Jack Torrance character better, only because she is more. And while I don't find Steven Weber's, it was not a bad acting job, it just was not a Jack Nicholson level acting job. I mean, he's one of the greats for a reason. I do feel that when you're given, I think that has a runtime of over 5 hours. When you're given 5 hours to play, you can, and that came out in the 1990s. So more CGI and stuff. You see the topiaries and stuff it is Stephen King sat on that rendition, so it hits you. You do see Steven Weber as a more affable man in the beginning, and then what's happening in the hotel, the problems with the burner, because that was completely ignored, etc. I'm just trying to think. You mean as far as the house kind of?
Yeah, and then having the dad go after the mom, the wife, and the kids.
So I hate the Amityville Horror. The real murders absolutely happened in that house. None of the Lutz family story happened there. I will go on record as saying that I don't believe a word those people said. So, but if we're looking at from a truly just creationist point of view, I believe The Shining was written way before. And I'll look that up for you right now.
And the movie came out. The Amityville Horror came out 1 year before The Shining, which is interesting.
Yeah. So that came out. So the book was published in 1977, but he was working on it as far back as I think 72. The Amityville Horror. Wow.
What?
So both of these books came out the same exact year.
Wow.
1977. So that's very interesting. No, the book itself goes way more into the history of the Overlook, the problems with the Overlook.
Yeah.
The problems with the Overlook, having what Dick Hallorann calls its own shrine. And they do touch on that in the movie insofar as when Jack's character is talking to the butler, Delbert Grady. Now, if you remember, it was the Grady.
And the other guy's name was Charles, right?
Grady.
Yeah.
So there's always a lot of like,
yeah, I feel like they could have done more. Like they could have gone more into what was going on with the hotel. Like,
and that is Stephen King's number one complaint about the movie is that it doesn't do that. And that from the get-go, even Jack Torrance, just when he's talking, and also in the book, the hotel manager doesn't want Jack Torrance. He was actually overridden by the people in Denver, so to speak. He is not an affable man. He kind of sets Jack on edge with his behaviors. So I'm not exactly sure why. Now, I watched this. What did you watch this on?
Prime.
But did you do the AMC plus free preview, or did you pay?
No, I paid for it.
Okay, so I did the AMC plus free preview just because it said I could, and I was like, sure.
Yeah, sure, why not?
I found it very interesting. They had a disclaimer in regards to language used in the movie. I had forgotten. I was like, that's weird. And then when we got to the movie scene, I think I've only ever watched it on cable, so I think it's always, the word has always gotten blurred.
Yeah. Are you talking about the N-word?
I am.
Yeah.
I thought it was very unnecessary for AMC to say that they don't share any of the views of that word, but also good. I was like, yeah, it's 2021. if anybody thought you did share those views, we would have shut you down. Like,
Yeah.
we're trying hard. But also good to acknowledge, like what. So we were talking about it the other night when we were all watching it, and DL had said like somebody would have gotten the boot. And one of the things I don't feel that either adaptation of the It book has done well was show Derry's problem with their African American community. Like, there's a reason why Mike doesn't go after him for saying that. There is a hatred so deep running through basically the sewer line. It is the hatred of the town.
Yeah.
And Henry Bauer's father and Mike's father have had problems. Henry Bauer grew up hearing his father call Mike's father that word incessantly. Unfortunately, it is part of his DNA and soul.
Yeah.
And that's horrible.
For me, yeah.
And it's gross. And I think that it's very good that this movie uses that word too, because obviously Jack Torrance is having a conversation with himself. He is losing all grips on reality. So it really shows the hatred that is boiling beneath him, that he is projecting, not only himself saying that word, but other people projecting that word back to him. So
see, I feel differently about it when it comes to that.
Please. No, please.
No, when it, like, Stephen King, I don't like Quentin Tarantino. I'm on the fence with Stephen King and his use of it. I don't like Quentin Tarantino because it feels more like a reason to use. It feels like it's a word that they think tastes good, I guess, and they just want to get away with using it because
I think if you read King's novels, I won't defend Tarantino. I agree with you there. Yeah. That's why I was saying if you read his novels, it filters into a backstory. And we have to also remember, like, we're always watching it, but that scene in which Bowers calls him that was the mid-'60s. Like, still, unfortunately, in American history, still a very prevalent word that people used, which I think is horrible, but also look how far we come. But should we have had to come that far at all? No, but we did. So I think that's one thing where in Stephen King's work, the use of the word doesn't play on the big screen the way it plays in the novel, only because before it's ever used in the novel, you have such a rich backstory of the character using it. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying it's not.
I get it, yeah.
It's not because he feels like it's good to use. It's because he feels his character would truly have those feelings, those emotions, and that perspective of a Black person, and would project them. I do agree with you with Tarantino. It feels like it's just a word to use. And I don't like when, and this is probably very much my white privilege speaking, and please call me out on it, I do not like when Black rappers use it. I hear what they're saying, I'm not
a fan of it. I don't like it, but it doesn't bother me as much as as someone writing it who shouldn't be using it at all. It's like, why are you even thinking that way, I guess? Or you have, it's like, not audacity, but just like, oh, it's like a way to get away. It's like a way to get around it. Like, oh, this is a word that I want to use. I can't use it in proper society, so I'll write it in a book or put it in a movie, and then it's okay because it's art. That's how it feels to me. Because there are other ways to convey that hate. I've seen plenty of movies with racists and hateful people that don't use that word, and you can still get it across without using it. So when it is used that way, I'm just like, oh, they just it's A, shock value, and then B, it's just they want to be able to use it. They can't use it in public, so they put it in their art so nobody can say anything. That's just always how it comes across to me. Again, and it doesn't bother me as much with Stephen King. I haven't read enough of his stuff, and it's not. My brother read it though, and he was like, he says it's pretty heavy and a little weird. So, but I did start reading it, but I'm going to finish. So I can't speak to all of it because I have, like I said, I haven't read all of this stuff. But just when it does happen, that's how it feels. When I will agree,
it is very used very heavily, but once again, I don't know if in that time when he was writing, or I shouldn't say when he was writing, the time periods that he was writing in, that there were better ways to showcase it. I think there are better ways now. I'm not sure if there are better ways then.
Yeah.
Because I feel even like a lot of our racists, and unfortunately America has a plethora of them, and if they could go away, that'd be fucking fantabulous. Even they don't say that word anymore. Yeah. They've found a way around it. It's not good. It's not great, but they've found ways.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think if I read it in a book of his written today, I would totally 100%, even when I see movies today in which a character uses it, I'm on your side.
Yeah.
I just think for the time period.
I get what you're saying. Like, I hear you.
It unfortunately plays. What was your favorite scene?
I think I don't know if I have a favorite scene, but I liked the colors that they used in the movie.
I cannot deny that Kubrick knows how to. The
coloring was amazing, and it was such a contrast to the bleakness of outside, and then the inside is like so colorful, and you've got all these like the brightness and it's light, and so it inherently shouldn't be a scary place because it's so well lit. There's no dark scenes, there's no night scenes. Nothing comes out in the dark. It's all in light, which is also pretty scary. So I'd have to think about my favorite scene, but I did definitely notice the set design and
what did you think of the layout of the overlook?
What do you mean the layout? Like how it was set up? I liked it. I mean, I'm not quite sure what you're asking.
So, and this is not definitely something I would have noticed upon first view. It's something you notice as you watch it more and more. It kind of always seems to be shifting perspective. Everybody says the major inconsistency is where the manager's office is in the hotel. There's no way there could be a window there.
Okay, gotcha.
There are a lot of layout inconsistencies that people have commented about over the years. I tend not to notice it, and it doesn't really ever take me out of it, but I do find it interesting, and I wonder if subtly Kubrick did that as kind of an homage to, the Winchester Mystery House and Rose Red and all of those kind of old fabled. I would love to go to the Winchester.
Oh, I've been there. It's amazing. It's pretty fun. I liked it. We went on a family vacation. My mom found it. My mom took us on the most random fun vacations. We went one year. We drove to San Jose. Yeah. Stayed at a hotel and did the day tour. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. That poor woman, though, to be so scared of being alone, even for a minute, that you just had people building nothingness in your home.
It wasn't that she was afraid of being alone. It was that she went to a psychic, and the psychic told her when they finished building it was when the psychic said, when they finish building this house, you're going to die. So she just kept having them build and build because she thought she was going to die when the house was finished.
I didn't know that part.
Yeah. So
that's cool. Look at what you learn on this.
It's a really cool story. The movie, I was like, if you have a chance, go to the Winchester House in San Jose, check it out, do the tour. It's a lot of fun. There's doors that lead to nothing. They don't even have like handrails on stuff. Like you could legit open a door and end up falling outside, and they warn you about that. They're like, yeah, don't just open a door and walk through it because you could fall.
Wow, I wonder what the insurance policy is.
I know.
That door.
We were pretty shocked. We were like, wow, we thought they'd be like more concerned about people falling and stuff. Okay.
Well, it's kind of like anything, like any amusement park. You go in, you sign your little waiver.
That's what I say. You do you.
So what? My favorite shot visually is always the River of Blood. I just think that is one of the most iconically shot scenes of all
speaking
time.
Of how much blood I wonder how much blood that was. I was thinking about our other, I forget which episode it was, but we were talking about.
We were talking about,
was it Freddy versus Jason?
No, it was one of the nightmares. I think it was Nightmare.
It had to be one, right? Because of the blood coming out of the bed.
Talked about it, yeah.
Yeah. Talked about and then I thought of that as soon as I saw that river. I was like, how much blood would that take?
Yeah. What I like too is when you first see the twins. It's their first day at the hotel. There are still guests at the hotel. So, if this is like your first time watching them, while by the way, they're not twins. I know I keep calling them twins.
I mean, everyone knows. Yeah,
they're not. I don't want to get a message about that, guys. I know, but I'm still just gonna call them the twins. Okay.
So if that's what it takes to get a message, go ahead, message us. Tell us that they're not twins.
Please. So I love that Danny's just standing there and he sees them, but we, as the viewer, I mean, okay, so this probably didn't happen to you because you knew who they were.
Yeah.
The first time watching it, I was like, wow, once again, children just wandering everywhere in the 70s. I was like, and then I was just like, and then like a second later, I was like, oh, those are the girls. Like, because I had read the book. So I was like, but if you haven't read the book, you just think they're two little guests, like getting ready to leave for the season. Then you see them again. I can see how, as somebody who, if you have no outside knowledge of this movie, don't know who those are, haven't read the book, I could find that being very shocking when you see them again later. You're like, wait, what the fuck? Did the parents leave them? Who are these kids? And then the River of Blood comes and you know shit's going down.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, crap.
Now, what did you think about the music to indicate the shine was happening?
Oh, I don't know if I noticed that music was correlated with the shine.
Every time Danny would be, that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I noticed it, but I didn't think anything of it. You didn't
clock it? Yeah. That's the movie's indicator of.
Got it. Okay. So now I have to go back and watch.
Being keyed into the shine is kind of what's happening.
As the mom, when the guy was like, oh, you called him Doc. She was like, oh, you called him Doc. We call him Doc. See, that was a note moment for me. I was like, no, I did not call him Doc. Why do you know this? Also, why did he not feel the need to tell the like, wouldn't you have told the parents?
So, very interestingly, in the book, Halloran tells everybody. Like, even when he's calling from Florida, he's like, listen, I key in on bad stuff. Bad stuff's happening. When he calls his friend for the snowcat, he doesn't bother making up a story. He's like, I can sense bad stuff is happening there. I need to get there. He never, and Danny too. Danny in the book doesn't hide the shine the way he does in the movie. I don't know what Kubrick
what is the point of that
going for with that. Also, just as a side note, if you're pulling your kid's arms 100 times or more, that's a sign you're not parenting well. Like when Wendy said that, she's like, it's just something you do with the kid 100 or so times, but this time was just no. I have had to do it. My son is 2.5. I've had to do it once. The first time he was navigating, walking out the front door by himself. Yeah. He got a little too excited. I just had to tug his little, reel that back in. Now he knows. Right. You go past mama's car, you're getting a timeout of epic proportions. I don't got to pull you back. You're neglecting parenting if you're whipping your kid all over the place 100 times. So even if we expounded upon that, so Danny is 6. So even if I had to do it one time, so my kid is 2, and I've done it once. So times 6 for averaging once every 2 years.
3 times.
3 times, not 100. I feel so bad for Wendy in this movie, but also so frustrated. Like, just kill him. The man literally said, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to bash
your... Yeah, I was like...
Somehow, even after you've put him in a freezer, your ass goes to sleep. Mind-boggling.
Well, okay, so...
I mean, I understand the direction of that to make sure that Danny woke her with the whole drum thing. They want to scare. But still, girl.
I was like, you and I have very different ideas of what not hurting me means. Because for me, bashing my head definitely qualifies as hurting. But I would have packed up. We wouldn't have had a story because when she walks in on him writing and he starts cussing her out and he's like, "Why don't you start right now and get the fuck out?" I'd have been like, "Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Tell you what, bet I'm gonna get the fuck out and I'm taking our boy." And me and Danny would have packed up and left.
I would have been on that snowcat and down the mountain in 20 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not staying with any man who talks to me like that under any circumstances.
No. And that was like not that far into the story, guys.
Yeah.
Because this whole story takes place in a month.
Yeah. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I wish that they had showed the people leaving. Like, they kind of just went, oh, it'll be dead at 5 o'clock and it looked like nobody's ever been here. And then it flashed forward to a month. And I was like, oh, I wanted them to like kind of show the last people leaving.
People petering.
Yeah. And then like just show how it's later in the day and now it does look like a ghost town. I thought that would have been cool rather than fast forward to a month later. I was like, oh man, I thought they were going to like come back.
No, they don't fast forward to a month later.
I thought that's what it said.
No. No, it was November 1st. Or November 7th, something. Okay. Because as you can see, Wendy and Danny can still go outside. No snow has come yet. They're in what would be considered traditional fall gear for that area, not winter gear yet.
Yeah.
So now
maybe it was a week. It was, but it was like a week.
Yeah, I mean,
it was sometime later. Yeah.
It was definitely later, but the whole thing. So this man, the presence of the hotel does him in less than a month, basically.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I started talking to the bartender, and I was like, this isn't weird to him?
Well,
I was like, I guess
did you notice what did you notice every time Jack was talking to somebody that wasn't Wendy or Danny? I.e. Delbert Grady, i.e. the bartender.
Other than drinking. What?
Which he wasn't doing because remember there were no booze on the property. Always a mirrored surface.
Oh, no, I did not notice that.
Used to distinguish that he is indeed just talking to himself, which we already know, but it just it's like really impact that.
Yeah. I also read that the bar wasn't there until he said, "I'd sell my soul for a beer." And that's when the bar appears, and that's when the hotel actually gets him. Is when he makes that deal. He says, "I'd sell my soul for beer," and it's like I was like, "Wow, that's pretty intense." Like, because he was just saying it flippantly, but the hotel took it seriously and was like, "Deal, you got it," which is technically not fair because, like you said, if there's no alcohol there, then what was he drinking?
Right.
Let's see what else. Oh, I didn't get the part where Wendy sees all the bodies. And was that just part of I couldn't tell if that was actually in the hotel there and there were just skeletons chilling in a room or if it was part of her hallucination.
Hallucination.
Oh, okay. Because it looked like it was trying to reveal that, like, those bodies had been there the whole time. So I was like, wait, is there actually nobody at this hotel? I was kind of confused at that part. Okay.
Hallucination.
Got it.
Any other questions you have for me?
Yeah, no questions. I'm thinking about, like, how he left so much unanswered. Like, again, because I definitely looked this up at the end. I was like, I need some answers because with Jack Nicholson's picture in the frame, I was like, okay. So because the guy's name was Grady.
Have you watched other Kubrick things?
I don't even think I have.
Okay. That's kind of his thing.
Yeah, I know. Like, he doesn't like to...
Okay, no, just as long as you know. So there are some things that I can't answer for you. The documentaries can't answer for you. Even when he's asked about it point blank in interviews, he gives vague answers. So do you want to jump ahead to the picture at the end? Because we can.
No, we can stay here. So, because he's talking to Grady, and like we said before, his name was Delbert, whatever his name was.
So and
then the other guy's name was Charles.
So there are two theories that Delbert Grady, the butler, was always there. He's one of the main forces of the hotel, and simply shares his name with the original caretaker that killed everyone.
So coincidence.
The second is that his middle name is Charles.
Because he says he killed his wife and children also.
No, he never admits that. He says, "I'm not sure what you're talking about, sir." He does use the words, "I had to correct their behavior."
Yeah.
But he never admits to that. So, I believe he is the... Okay, so there is something that Stephen King likes. He does it in The Dark Tower, in which Kal is a wheel, reincarnation. If you don't learn your lessons, you are doomed to repeat them. And I believe that is what the picture is showing us, is that Jack Nicholson was there. Jack Nicholson was there. Jack Torrance was there. That he played some sort of role in... Now, the bodies that she saw were the bodies from that July 4th party, though.
Yeah. That's what I figured.
So some sort of catastrophe happens, and I read the book so long ago that's a little fuzzy. In the book, Jack Torrance does go through the history and looks at scrapbooks and stuff from the hotel, which they don't, and my memory's fuzzy on that. I should have looked it up better. But that basically Kal is a wheel, Jack Torrance is reincarnated again, and is basically reliving his own nightmare. The second theory, and the theory that I prefer, is that his picture wasn't in that photo
before
until he died and
his soul got absorbed. Yeah, I like that one too. Where
that's him. The one. That's the most popular of the theories, and that is my favorite of the theories, because otherwise, what we're saying is Wendy, Jack, and ostensibly Danny walked past this picture many, many times in a hotel where they really had nothing else to do. But
right, but
I mean, they could have studied every picture and redrew them. That's the kind of time they had.
Right. Oh man, when he came out of that room, when Danny first comes out of the 237, I was like, they took Danny back. Danny went back to the womb. He was coming down, sucking his thumb. I was like, that poor baby. He got so traumatized up there.
Wouldn't you?
Oh yeah. I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying that's sad.
And we have to assume that somebody with a true shine like Danny's, she never appeared to him anything more than the final disfigured form.
Oh, the nasty waterlogged body.
Yeah.
Probably. And at that point, Danny checked out. He was like, well, Tony, you got this.
You're in charge.
You're in charge. I'm gonna go sit this one out. You have fun.
My least favorite change from book to movie. And if you've seen Dr. Sleep, you already know this was a change. Dick does not get killed in the book. Also in the book, the boiler explodes. There's a bad boiler.
I read a little bit of that. I was like, oh, okay, it exploded. I was deciding if I wanted to read the book or not, so I'm still on the fence.
Do it. What are you on the fence about?
Well, I have it. I've got to get through it. I've just never read a Stephen King book, and I'm like, I should probably give it a try.
You probably should have started with something like The Shining, which was only like 400 pages, then It, which is like almost 800 something.
That's fine. I got nothing but time.
Jen clearly picked books on her Kindle and didn't look at page counts.
No audiobooks.
Oh, well, that's easier.
Yeah, I eat those up.
I can't do it. I know people love them, so I can't.
I love it. See, and I can't do it. It's hard for me to do podcasts. That's hypocritical, I know. Thank you, everyone who bothers to listen. But it is so hard for me to listen to a podcast.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for listening to Horror and Heels. If you're wondering how we're making this podcast, we're doing it through Anchor. You can go to Anchor FM to get started. It's free. They have creation tools that allow you to do it right on your phone or your computer. I edit. I'm actually recording this while I'm in my car waiting to go to my next client. They make life so easy. They even distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple, other sites. It helps you upload if you want to make a Patreon or anything. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. I know zero about formatting and doing this and that and the other thing, and Anchor makes it so easy. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. If you want to learn more, go to the Anchor app or anchorfm.com to get started. Thank you and have a great day.
Apparently, somebody complained to a male podcaster on Twitter that he had women on his horror podcast. And I'd like to say to the person who complained, you an idiot.
Yeah. I think they said something about women laughing at murder. Like, it's unattractive or something. I don't know. But really? Like, who? I feel like that's a troll. I feel like
ugly to you.
What?
Then I'm real ugly to that person. And
right.
I'm okay with it.
But I feel like that's a real troll move. Like, that's purely someone just trying
so much trolling
to get a rise out of you. And it worked because that podcaster got a lot of responses from women on his side. Obviously, he said the podcaster said, if that pisses you off, then we're just going to be here to piss you off then, I guess. So
yeah, like just don't bother listening. That's the other thing that I don't understand in 2021. And listen, maybe in the 70s, I kind of understood it. You had like 4 channels to choose from. You had 10 programs.
Right?
But
yeah.
It's 2021.
There are so many other things you can listen to, watch,
exactly.
stream.
Listen, like somebody was like, whenever somebody says, oh, well, I don't like that, like it shouldn't be on the air because they don't like it. I'm like, sweetie, let me show you the beauty of your remote.
There's a plethora of channels.
The channel. Now, we can all agree there are some things that have been put out that have always been ostensibly bad. People throw shit at a wall, hope it sticks, and guess what? Universally, nobody watches it, and it's off the show in 3 episodes.
And then there it goes.
So you don't have to concern yourself with that.
Oh, my God.
Listen, zombies have never been my thing. So you know what I just don't do? I just don't watch The
Walking Dead.
I don't have an opinion on it other than zombies aren't my thing.
Yeah.
So there's that. Just like, listen, there are some channels you will never see Elicia watch. Let's list them real quick. Lifetime, not watching, don't care. Hallmark and any of your movie channels, God bless you, don't care. If there's a romance network, I don't know if there is. God bless you, don't care. But God bless, like there are people who like that.
Me, I'm one of them.
I wasn't gonna call her out, but if she's
I don't care. I'm proud. I'm not ashamed. I'll turn on a Hallmark movie.
When people who know me well will be like, "Oh my God, Elicia, did you see this movie?" Blah 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 blah, and I'm like, "That sounds like a romance movie," and they'll be like, "It is," and I'll be like,
"What? Then why are they asking you about it?"
I was like, "Have you met me?" And then, my boss, whom I love, she goes, "Well, you watched that one with Ali Wong." Yes, I love Ali.
Always Be My Maybe?
Yes.
I love that movie.
I will watch Ali Wong eat soup for an hour if that, just like Kristen Bell. Don't say to me, "Oh, well, you watched this thing with Kristen Bell, so you must like that genre." No, don't get it twisted. I like Kristen Bell. I like Ali Wong. They're bringing enough to the table for me to ignore all the other bullshit.
The entire rest of the movie.
Yeah, pretty much. Plus anything with a cute chef. I love cooking. By the way, Worst Cooks in America are back, and this year Carla Hall is on it. And if you people don't enjoy her, you're crazy. So
I don't know who that is. Who is she?
She was on The Chew on ABC. Oh. She has fantastic. She is a woman who has let her hair go gray she has hair very similar to yours, but with just these streaks of natural gray through it. That is gorgeous. And she wears the most fun eyeglasses.
Oh, fun.
And she's a celebrity chef, obviously.
And for me, it's cooking networks. But I don't curse cooking shows. Like, I don't watch them, but I'm not like, oh my God, there should not be any cooking shows.
Right, exactly.
Like, why? Like, someone is enjoying them.
Yeah.
Let them enjoy them.
And that person is, just like Jen raised her hand and went, "It's me," for the Hallmark Channel. It's me. I'm watching everything on Food Network.
But that's the beauty of people, and there's so many different people.
One day, the Pioneer Woman. So Rhea, sorry, I should be better at pronouncing your name. I watch you so much. I apologize. She made these. She is, okay? It's clear. Mrs. Drummond is clearly one of our followers. We love you. Come on this show if you have an interest. Or, listen, we'll do an episode talking about food with you for an hour.
Or make us a signature dish.
She did these roast beef sandwiches for her boys' football team. Look it up. You can always look up any of their recipes on foodnetwork.com. I make it all the time. Last week, I think I ate them 3 or 4 days in a row.
They sound good. I love a good roast beef sandwich.
I was like, are you eating those again? I was like, yeah.
You're like, yeah, we are.
Yeah. So, what were your overall opinions of the end of the movie? How?
My first thought was, well, that was definitely a Stephen King movie ending, which is funny because it was actually a Stanley Kubrick ending. Yeah, I was like, I just wanted it to answer just a few, like, I just wanted it to answer just a few more questions because it had all this potential of like the hotel and these ghosts and the story and like.
And unfortunately, it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, well, they just cut it from the book and I can answer your question. Yeah. It's like, no, Kubrick added that and I don't really know what he means by it.
Yeah. So
I apologize because I did look a lot of stuff up, but a lot of it is basically conspiracy theories, like with the picture. It's like, oh, well, he will not answer the questions.
Yeah, he can't. Yeah. So there's no...
Leading me to believe, Kubrick, that you don't really know. You just threw stuff around.
Yeah, he made something up to make it
made something up. Listen, I don't hate him for it. This movie came out in what, 19...
People are still talking about it.
Yeah. Like, it gets listed in the top 10 for all eternity. It is on the AFI's top 100 list. By the way, Unspooled, with Paul Scheer, if you want, I would say a much more, and I purposely didn't listen to their episode of this movie because I just didn't want it to inform me, and I'm going to listen to it tonight. But they obviously do this because it's on AFI's top 100. So go ahead and give a listen to that if you want a Paul Scheer's perspective, whom I love dearly. I think we all know that. Love him and Jason Mantzoukas. You guys can come on the show anytime.
Anytime.
What are you mixing over there?
Nothing. I was just lighting my candle.
Well, okay then.
I just wanted to light my candle.
Are you drinking tonight?
No, I'm not actually.
In
drink in hand.
In honor of
honor of Jack.
In honor of our dear David Tennant, I'm kicking it back to Fright Night.
Dory?
Midori, Malibu, and Pineapple.
Yeah, you do. That sounds delicious. I wish, like I said, like I didn't get that same experience just because I feel like I've seen the whole movie. Just
seen so many parts.
Yeah, so many clips of it, so many references. Yeah, it didn't really have the shock value or the like, oh my god. The picture part did, and I know I've seen that before, but I didn't know that was that. Right. And I didn't know what the ending was. So the picture part, I was like, oh, that's crazy. So that part I liked. But yeah, as far as the movie experience, it wasn't as amazing. Just, again, because I've heard so much and seen so much about it.
But you were still scared.
No. I mean, it had scary parts, but it wasn't like haunting scare. I wasn't like scared later that night thinking about it. It was like, it was creepy in the moment, but it wasn't something that bothered me. Some movies scare me and I think about it all damn day and like can't go to sleep. But that one, like the old woman in the bathtub, that was creepy.
Right.
Yeah. A lot of note moments in that. Oh, and I loved when Danny did the backwards walking in the snow. I was like, what a smart kid. I love smart kids in movies.
In the book, he is way smarter than they make him in the movie.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't dumb by any means.
He wasn't dumb, yeah.
I'm just saying he was
smart. He was even smarter.
Yes. Okay. I wish that Wendy had been shown stronger. She is shown stronger in the book.
And that would make more impact in the movie because it's like if she gets scared, because if you're a stronger person, and then she has this freak out where she's scared, you're like, oh, shit must really be going down for her to be scared.
Right.
Whereas this
it's like she's scared immediately. Like she's even saying, oh, I wouldn't know how to use all these things in the kitchen. Bitch, it's a mixer. It's a toaster. I understand it. bigger than your one at home, but Mixa is still a Mixa.
Yeah.
I can't open a stuff.
Not that hard.
She's opening that 30-pound jar of fruit salad. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? 30 Lego lambs. Nobody needs that many.
Yeah, I was like, who are you guys trying to feed? Y'all are leaving.
Right. Well, I mean, they had to supply them with food.
Yeah.
And if they're doing all their orders, it's probably so expensive to get things delivered up that road that they probably would do 3 or 4 main deliveries for the whole season.
Yeah.
Like, I'm talking the May to October season, and then whatever was left over was for the caretaker's family.
Yeah.
But the second the dude said to me, yeah, we don't have skiing because it would be too cost prohibitive to keep the road clear. That means, dun, 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 the town, the state authority does not clear that road, which means that nobody and nothing else is off that 12-mile stretch besides the overlook. Because if there were taxpayers and the people who needed to get off and on at those 12 miles at any point, one would assume the state authority would
do it, yeah.
Would have to do it, and therefore there would be no cost prohibitiveness. Meaning, dun, 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 you are alone.
You're stranded. Your ass is out there in the
stranded. I love Ed, but I am going on a holy record as saying, if he came home and said, we're going to go to the middle of nowhere from October to May, and we can't get out if something goes wrong.
Nope.
And listen, I'm not scared of at this point. Now listen, Jack's been sober for 5 months, fantastic, but she wasn't making him sound so fantastic before we went up there.
No.
Ed's a godsend. I love him. I love my son. You still can't sell me on them being the only people I'm seeing for that many months.
No.
And
I don't care how big the hotel is.
Yeah. No. Because here's the other thing. If there's nothing for 12 miles, I was kind of interested as to how they were even getting cable service. That seems to have been a little weird to me.
Oh, yeah, getting TV? Yeah.
Because the phones were out. But no, we see her watching like a news program about the snow.
I mean, it could have just been regular TV, I guess. I don't know how that works.
Well, certainly not cable, but I was wondering what they were watching after the snow came in bad. Maybe those were old VHS.
Could have been.
That they were watching that the hotel had.
Yeah. People are trying to add extra mystery to it, saying we don't know what time it's set in. I'm like, guys, it's set in the time that it was created. Like,
yeah.
They're trying to make it extra, like,
the outfits did tip you off 1970s. There we go.
Yeah, like, it came out in 80s, so it was set in the late 70s. So,
yeah.
Calm your tits. Like, stop trying to make it into a thing. It's obviously set in the time it was made.
Yeah. What were the velour suits confusing?
Right? His little tri-sit, like that bike is like signature, like 70s, 80s toy.
Did you not see the bell bottoms and
all the patterns in the hotel?
The corduroy. I mean, the woman ran around in a corduroy dress for half the
movie. Yeah. 70s were the only time to curse us with such a thing.
Also, now you and I both love horror, true crime, etc.
Mm-hmm.
If he was like, oh, my wife will get a kick out of it. She loves all that kind of stuff. No.
I will get a kick out of it from here.
I did just say, oh, I'd love to go to the Winchester Mystery House. However,
there's people there.
It's
a tour.
It's a tour. Nothing freaky was ever known to go into the house. It's just truly a wonder of building, of architecture. Like, that's the weirdness of the Winchester home. So I'm fine.
If you're talking about going to go live in a hotel where a man killed his wife and his children, no.
Yeah.
And then you just want me to hang out there for isolated?
People who go visit abandoned.
I won't do that. Like my mental health. I was gonna say mental asylums and like, yeah.
I say asylums not to be cruel to people with mental health. The reason I'm saying asylum is because that's what they were called.
Right.
And the things that happened there.
They didn't do good things to people there.
They didn't do we're not talking about a mental health facility of today's time. We're talking about what the people who ran those things did.
And those were not healthy. They were not
healthy places.
No.
And I do to a little bit believe that there's energy all around us in this universe, and places can hold on to energies. So no, I'm not hopping up into a place where horrific experimental medical treatments were performed on the most deemed unfortunate of society, that they felt that nobody would notice or care that they were doing these things to these individuals. Yeah, I'm just not hopping up there and fucking with any of that. You all can do that yourself.
Yeah, have fun.
Also, when the manager is giving the tour and he just so brazenly and without care says, "Oh yeah, we built this on an ancient burial ground. Kind of had to fiend off some ancestors." And now we know why Poltergeist came out.
I was just gonna say that was the main thing.
Got its ideas from.
That was the thing back then. Indian burial grounds were so in.
So in. Why? I
like how they make the Native Americans the bad guys. Like, I mean, technically, I guess they weren't. The point of the movie is that the people who built on it were the bad guys, but still, it's funny. Just
the fact
forget the Native Americans.
Zero self-awareness of what that man was saying was hysterical to me.
He didn't care. He didn't care.
Zero fucks given.
I would have clocked that and been like, "Oh, really? Okay. Well, between that and the man killing his wife and kids, I think I'm going to go ahead and pass on the job. Thank you, though. Good luck."
Right, because here's the thing. I'm not saying it can't happen. We know plenty of plain serial killers. But I'm more the type of person, not even supernatural energy, I would be rethinking what they were saying about the isolationism of that situation.
Right.
Like, that more than anything else would have been, and I guess I have to say, and I don't know if you feel this way, it has been, besides my father and one uncle who are in our bubble, a year since I have seen my extended family. And I find that very isolating. And I can talk to them on the phone, and I can do what you and I are doing and Skype them and wave to them and tell them that I love them all the day.
Yeah.
So knowing how sad it has made me, and I know a lot of other people feel the same way, to not be able to hug them and just hang with them and have a glass of wine in person with them, etc. How isolating that small little tidbit, when we're so blessed to have all this
so
technology,
many ways to communicate,
so many ways to communicate, to then take that to the nth degree. And not only can you not see them, you cannot call them. This is 1977, so we have none of this technology. I can imagine how isolating that is, and how that could play very heavy on somebody's heart and mental health.
And not even just family. Like for you, like you still see your clients, so you do still have other human interaction, not even just your family. Like this is nobody.
I'm at a level of sadness and still am able to do those things.
Yeah.
I could only imagine what not having, how Wendy wasn't going nuts either.
Right.
Well, she seemed a little simple. She had her cigarettes. She was happy.
Yeah,
by the way, how many cigarettes do you think she packed for this excursion?
Oh, God. Apparently enough for isolation for months. I've seen that meme where it's that was the most intense scene about her ash. The ash. Yeah.
Put that. Yeah, we'll have to put that meme up.
Oh, yeah. I should do that.
Yeah. So, Jen, overall thoughts. I know you wanted some questions answered. Hopefully I helped a little bit.
Yeah. Overall, it was a good movie. And had I not known so much about it, it would have been much more exciting. So I think it's definitely worth a watch. I got through before I've tried to watch it, and it wasn't catching me, and I kept thinking it was boring. It's not as boring as I remember thinking it was. Mm-hmm. So it did actually keep my attention. So yeah, I liked it. It was a good movie.
It's in my top 10 for sure. It is one of my
top 10 for horror or all time?
Oh, all time.
All time. Okay.
Yeah. Including the book. The book is easily in my top 10 of all time of books, which definitely for me is, I will say if somebody came up to me tomorrow and said, you have to pick one, I would pick books. No questions asked. So for me to pick a top 10 for books, way harder than for me to pick a top 10 for movies. So for me to say this is what?
In your top 10 for books too?
Yeah. So for me to say this is in my top 10 of books is, as far as Stephen King goes, 2 of his are in my top 10. As far as books go, this and Salem's Lot. I love others of them, but there are other books that I also love that are in there as well. More of like the classics. I just love The Great Gatsby so much, and The Catcher, and stuff like that as well. I watch this probably 2 or 3 times a year. I also have the mini series, which I really do enjoy, just because anytime you can visit this world for an extended period of time, I do enjoy it. Also, I bought it when Blockbuster was going out of business, and I think I got it for $1. So
nice. I do want to check that out. The miniseries.
I honestly think the miniseries, you would probably have to try to find the DVDs at a library or something.
Sure.
We looked up; it was not like it wasn't even on a streaming service that we could buy or pay for. I don't believe although those things change all the time.
Yeah. I did like Rose Red. That was Stephen King also, right? Rose Red. I like that one.
So next week for Valentine's Day, we're doing
Wait, aren't we doing Dr. Sleep next week?
No, because next week will be Valentine's Day. We're doing My Bloody Valentine. Then we're doing Dr. Sleep.
What?
Yeah, you should pay attention to our schedule.
No, I did. I thought we were just pushing stuff. Oh, because today is the 1st. Got it. Okay.
Here, you'll learn live how a calendar works with Jen.
No! I'm looking at what I wrote. Hey, look, it's not my fault. We had to skip a week, and I forgot. I thought...
It is... Well, what Jen is saying is entirely Alicia's fault that we had to skip a week. So
just because you were calling me out.
No, it is... I was the person that we needed to skip the week for.
It's fine, though.
Oh, you know what I'm remembering? I'm going to have to cancel my free trial. You know what's funny is... Oh, Room 237, apparently you can't even watch for free. Except on this thing called Real Eyes, which I don't know what that is.
The documentary you were talking about?
Mm-hmm. Sooner. Oh, apparently it's on something that we don't even have in this country. So, But yeah, but no, I was looking on Just Watch for the Shiny miniseries, and no, it's not on here. I do really like the way Dr. Sleep worked hard to incorporate a few things from the movie version, just to make people
to tie it together.
To tie it, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you have to say it's fine. You know why we had to skip a week. You'd be real if you didn't. Yeah.
Oh, I did. I got my 23andMe, and I got 35.2% European.
Okay.
And of that 35%, I'm 24% British and Irish, which I think is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it's hilarious because this person added peppermint to her whiskey. She's absolutely not Irish. Moving on.
Nope, it says it right here.
I don't care what that says. I, Elicia, over here at guaranteedtofindaniirishperson.com, I'm telling you.
I don't think that's real. I don't believe you.
No, but I'm going to go on Squarespace.com and get that domain name going. Brad, get me your domain name.
That's hilarious.
Oh, good. Oh.
Just for that, I'm gonna drink my peppermint whiskey all through our Leprechaun episodes.
So interestingly, Mick Garris, our friend Mick Garris, he does he is, you know who he is.
Yes, I know, and I can't think of the name of the podcast.
Oh my god. You know, it's okay. Postmortem.
Postmortem. Yeah, postmortem.
Postmortem. Thank you.
Yes.
With our friend Joe, whom we love. He is in. He screenplayed Riding the Bullet. That's amazing. Because he has something to do. Oh, Mick Garris, just to tie back into The Thing, he did the making of The Thing, the TV short documentary.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, God. Oh, so he was I knew he was tied into this whole Shining thing somehow. He's the director for the TV miniseries.
Oh, wow.
And nice. He was the director for the Stand TV miniseries in 1994.
Very sweet.
Yeah, he's ridiculously talented. If you people don't know who Mick is, go ahead, check him out. You'll be there. I mean, he was the writer of Hocus Pocus. He directed Sleepwalkers. He was one of the writers at Critters 2. So
he's in the game.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing. So, So next week, my Bloody Valentine. I'd love to lie to you guys and say that we're not doing it so I can watch Jensen Ankles for an hour and a half. But I don't like to lie to you guys. So
we all know that that's not true.
I'm looking up right now on Just Watch.
I think we're doing both of them, right? We're doing.
Yeah, we're gonna
do both. Taking it back to our early days, doing two. So expect a good 3 hours sit-in. I'm just kidding. It's my Bloody Valentine. It'll probably be 30 minutes.
So the original you can find on Prime Video or Pluto. Pluto will have ads, but you can find it there. And the 2009. Oh, yay. HBO Max.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that. I like Pluto. Pluto's interesting because you can just put something on like you would with regular TV.
Pluto's fantastic because they have an entire channel devoted to Bob Ross. What a way to go to sleep, guys. If you are having problems going to sleep, you just open up Pluto TV, put on the Bob Ross channel. His dulcet tones and his happy little trees will put you to slumberland. No worries. And for those of you who do not know, so if you don't know who Bob Ross is, go ahead and look it up. But the man, do you know why he is so dulcet toned in his show and everything?
No.
So he was in the army. He commanded troops and therefore had to yell. When he got out of the war, he said, I will never yell again. I did not like that part of what I had to do. He understood it, but he didn't like it, and he never wanted to have to do it again, and he never did.
Wow.
And he is just, it is nice. As much as I love horror movies, it is nice to go to sleep with the sounds of just, I mean, he is just so happy.
Yeah.
We're just going to put a little tree. I love a man whose motto is, there's no mistakes, just happy accidents. That's just fabulous.
Like the nicest man that ever was.
Yeah. I would have joined the army if he had been my command chief.
Right?
I mean, wait, would I still have had to run even if he was my command chief?
Yes.
Oh, then I wouldn't have.
Never mind.
Sorry. No. Strike that. So anything else that you want to plug or anything before we go?
Nope. I think that's it.
The Chase on ABC, for any of my fellow trivia heads, fantastic. Anybody who is very into glass blowing, Netflix has blown away. And Jen, speaking of Netflix, do you want to go ahead and say anything?
Oh, Lord. Yeah, so I'm in this Netflix documentary called Strip Down, Rise Up. We did this like 3 years ago, and it's finally on Netflix. It's about women doing pole dancing to empower themselves and just become more confident and comfortable in their sexuality and their bodies, and learning to love yourself as a woman. So that comes out on Friday, February 5th. I have no idea how much I'm in it. I'm in the trailer. That's all I know. So I have no idea if I'm in it at all.
It drops the same day, obviously, that this episode will drop.
Yes, that's right. So today it's out. If you're listening to this, then it's out there now.
Yeah.
So yeah, check it out. Mostly women. I'm not a fan of guys watching this. And it's not gonna be. And guys are gonna be thinking, "Oh my god, it's about stripping," and they're gonna turn it on and see a bunch of women crying, and they're gonna be like, "Oh crap, never mind, turn it off."
Yeah.
It's gonna be pretty funny. So yeah, there's that.
And Jen has also written a children's book. Do you want to say anything about that?
Oh.
Also, when your favorite co-host's son is getting her copy.
Oh, I will send you a copy. I'm sending some copies out this week. I will get one in there for you.
Yes. It better be signed.
Yeah. It's gonna be signed for sure. It's called To
TJ Love Auntie Jen.
Yes. It's called How to Invite an Elephant to Tea. That's all it is. It's how to invite an elephant to tea. There's no themes. There's no lesson. It's just fun. Just a fun kids book.
Which I enjoy. And my son's theme in his room and in everything is elephants. So we're very excited. And obviously he's 2. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure my son would love to try to invite an elephant to tea in our home. So maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get dolls. Like I want to get plush dolls, like plush elephants to sell, to go with the books. But if you want a copy, you can get it on Amazon, or you can DM our Horror and Heels, and I can mail you a signed copy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jen, I'll send you her Venmo to pay her.
Yes.
Yeah. And
I think that's it. That's all.
I think that's everything. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, one last thing for true crime, because I just watched this. Did you watch I'll Be Gone in the Dark?
No.
That's a good one. So
I have to watch Night Stalker. I still haven't watched Night Stalker.
So this guy was out before the Night Stalker, apparently, and Patton Oswalt's wife helped catch him, basically.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah. Sadly, she ended up passing away before they caught him. Like, it was just so straight. Yeah, it's a crazy story. So I'll Be Gone in the Dark. And then Unmasking a Killer is about the same serial killer, but it's just strictly the FBI side of it. Like it's the strictly documentary part. I'll Be Gone in the Dark is her story and how she participated in catching the killer.
Gotcha.
So it was really, really good. That's on HBO Max. Both of them are.
Perfect.
All right.
I think that's everything. See, you guys, once again, this is what happens when especially when Elicia likes a movie and feels very knowledgeable about the subject matter.
Yeah, you get an hour and a half.
An hour and 30 minutes. We had some deviations, so maybe we'll cut a little of those, bring it down a little.
Oh, we didn't do too bad, though. We stayed on point pretty much for most of it. We did.
No, I'm proud of us. Yeah. Okay. That is all. Thank you, everyone, for listening. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Night,